Jenny, thank you so much for yesterday. I hope my kid didn't go too crazy over there. Did he behave?
Not at all. He was really well behaved. And he just played outside with my son for most of the day, so I didn't really have a chance to notice any mischief with them. But your son acted just like you when I saw him, so I guess he hangs around you a lot, huh? If anything, I'm thankful that you let him come over to play with my boy. It's been so long since anyone has come here to play with my son, so it was really like a breath of fresh air.
Really? He acted like I do?
Yeah, super quiet and a bit shy.
He's always going so buck wild inside our house, so I was sure he'd get into trouble over there too, but wow. Well, I bet since he was in a different environment, he was just a little bit nervous, huh?
Well, I'm sure that could be one reason then. But now that you mention it, my kid can also be a little crazy at times. Even this morning, he went nuts, and trust me, you don't want to know what he did. It sounded like those two still wanted to play together when you came to pick Henry up, huh?
Yeah, that was tough, right?
Well, at least James might have learned how to be more clean thanks to your Henry.
Well, that's thanks to my husband, who helps out a lot, teaching my little man many things. But even then, they sometimes like to rough up the house. I guess boys of any age will find ways to get into trouble.
Yeah, you bet. Does your husband really help you out with Henry that much? My husband doesn't even bother asking how things are at our house.
Really? I always thought of your husband as such a charming man.
He has his moments, but... well, he's just really focused on his career, I guess. And I suppose that the drive that he has for work did help us to get where we are financially so quickly.
He really is such a great husband after all, then.
I guess you're right. But of course, as with all husbands, he does come with his fair share of problems. It would be amazing if he was as perfect as some people think he is.
Are you sure about that? I always thought of him as kind of being flawless.
Well, no one's perfect, right? I suppose he does have a pretty good-looking face, though. But that comes with its own issues, too.
Like what?
I mean, he's good-looking, competent, kind, and he really does have the body of a model. I know a lot of wives that always worry about their husbands cheating on them. My husband would easily be drooled over, too, don't you think?
I guess your husband does have pretty good looks going for him. So I can understand where you're getting your worries from.
Right? I always wonder why a man as attractive as him came and married someone like me sometimes. I have a lot of flaws of my own, and I could really do a lot better acting more ladylike.
Oh, don't say that. When you say you have flaws, I feel they play to your strengths a lot better than others. And I'm sure that your husband loves those things about you, right?
Well, he might. But still, it would be amazing if I were a bit more like you, Tiff. Then I wouldn't have to be so worried about being a good enough woman or not.
Well, to me, I think the way you are right now is just perfect.
Oh, really? I'll make sure to think of myself that way then.
I'm being serious. You need to have more confidence in yourself, please.
Well, thanks for complimenting me like that. Of course, when you tell me that, though, my confidence shoots through the roof. So thank you for being nice.
Not a problem. I'm just telling you the facts.
Well, you're really good at doing that then. Oh, that's right. Tiff, do you want to go to the next parent-teacher conference with me?
Yeah, sure. I was planning on going there alone, so I wouldn't mind tagging along. But is that okay with you? I know you usually go with a bunch of the other moms, right?
It's perfectly fine, Tiff. I'm actually having a small fight with them anyway. Besides, their kids are in different classes now, so there's no need to go together anyway.
Ah, well, I guess fair enough. All right, then, I guess I'll be joining you.
And, I mean, both of our boys are really good friends now, so it's probably better for them, too. All right, then, I'll come to your place to get you on the day of. And I heard that this time we're going to read our kids' speeches, right? I'm so excited to see what my boy wrote in his speech.
The theme is about family, right? I'm a little embarrassed to see what he wrote about us, but I'm also a bit excited.
People do sometimes get a little invested in what their kids have to say about them, right? I'm also really looking forward to all of this, so let's have a bit of fun together.
Sure thing. Jenny, hey, I have something I really need to ask you about. Do you have time right now to chat?
What? I'm really busy right now. If you have something you need to say, make it quick, okay?
All right. I'll be direct about this. Did you say something to James, like to not talk to Henry or something?
No, not at all. Is that all you wanted to ask me?
Well, Henry got really upset today. When he tried to talk to James, he said he ignored him the whole day.
And what does that have to do with me?
Well, why would he do that?
Did my son say something directly to you?
Well, apparently James said that his mom told him not to speak to him.
Is that what he told you? I told him not to tell anyone about that stuff.
So does that really mean that you did say something to him? And why are you doing this?
You're asking me why? Don't you have at least a little bit of reasoning skills toward why I said what I said? Think about it.
I know recently you've been a little cold to me at times, but before all of this, you were always chatting with me. I never had the thought that things would turn around this quickly. But I guess recently whenever I text you, you just read them without replying to them. So I don't think this is me having a hard time understanding the reason for this. You're clearly ignoring me.
Well, do you remember what happened at the last parent-teacher conference?
Was there something I did or said to you that made you upset with me?
Well, not you specifically, but it's your husband.
My husband? My husband didn't go to the conference.
I know that he wasn't there, but it's what your son said about him. He said that his dad was always home every day playing games with him. In other words, that means that your husband is unemployed, right?
My husband is not unemployed, thank you very much. He might be at home a lot, more than other dads, but he's still working a full-time job. He's just good at making the effort like that.
So you're telling me that he works, but that he also always is at your house. Don't you see why that sounds fishy to me? I made sure that my husband wouldn't turn out that way because there's no way I'd ever marry a man who's broke and out of a job.
My husband is neither of those. And also, what does any of this have to do with our kids? Up until now, our boys were so close and had a good bond. I don't think making their parents' problems a part of their lives is fair on them.
Well, soon James will find out that you married a poor man and pity you and Henry. And I don't want my son to be around that kind of people. So, if he continues to play with your stupid little poor boy, what do you think will happen to him? Don't you think it'll rub off on my James? We wouldn't want that now, do we?
This isn't about just my husband, but my son as well. Those two are the only family I have. So there's no way I'm letting you sit there and make false accusations about both of them.
You seem to be getting pretty offended by all of this, and that goes to show that it must be true. So knowing that you guys really are a low-life family, well, there's no need for my family to stay around you guys. So please, don't let your son play with my son, okay?
Oh, whatever. I guess I should have known you were the type of person who would judge people like that, Jenny.
And so what? I don't want anything to do with you anymore, right? Do you think that you, as a moneyless housewife, will have anything important for me to listen to?
Fine. Then I won't talk to you anymore. We don't have to talk. And don't ever worry about me trying to talk to you in public anymore either. We're done here.
Fine by me. In fact, that's what I want.
Fine. Have it your way. I'm not even going to bother with this anymore.
Bye now.
Hey, I just took my first break of the day, man. Boy, I am so tired. Anyway, how's everything going?
Hey, oh wow, that's a late break for you, huh? Are you that busy with work?
Yeah, I'm up to my neck with this new project.
Well, I just went out on a little walk to the nearby park. That was a nice break.
Nice.
I was wondering if I should put your dinner in the fridge. Are you going to come home late tonight too?
Well, with the way things are going with this project, I might come home late again, I guess. Things are starting to ramp up a bit as well. There's nothing I can really do about that, but man, I am tired. But yeah, please leave the dinner on the table or in the fridge or wherever. I'll make sure to eat my dinner and clean the dishes before you get home.
look at you working so hard. Make sure to eat all your food and drink a beer or two to relax, okay? I get that you're having to get all busy again with work, but make sure you're still making time to come home and relax a little.
Thanks, and I really should start taking care of my health, huh? It can be real stressful. But at least there are people who do a ton more work than I do, so you'd feel even worse for those guys.
Really?
Yeah, they're my department's engineers and they're always working on things all the time. Those people are really something, let me tell you. Some of them are even known company-wide and are never short on tasks and projects that they need to work on. If they weren't here to help us out with this new project, there'd be no way for us to finish it on time.
Well, if you're even saying this many good things about these guys, they must be the real deal. I'm gonna have to talk about this to this lazy family I know and show them how great it is to make yourself useful at work.
Which lazy family? Who are you talking about?
You are really going to have a good laugh about this. There is this family who's worse off than any other family I have ever seen.
Really?
The dad is a recluse and a jobless loser who probably doesn't even realize all the stress he puts his family through.
That does sound pretty rough for the wife and kids, huh? So is the wife having to pick up the slack and work instead, or something?
The wife is a stay-at-home wife and full-time mother. I really have no idea how the three of them can get by, especially when they live just a few streets down from us, living in that huge house. There has to be something they aren't telling me about when it comes to how they really live. Maybe they don't even have a house of their own and are just squatters. Or even worse, they could be bank robbers or something.
That must be pretty hard on the child, huh?
Right? And their scruffy little son was hanging out with our boy, so I had to make sure to cut ties to all of them. I was worried that some of their filth would rub off on our son and ruin his future.
Do I know these people that you're talking about? I'm sure that if they're people you know, they must be one of your mom's friends.
Yeah, I'm talking about Tiff and her family, but you don't have to worry about them anymore. From now on, they'll have nothing to do with us. I made sure to cut them off for good.
You have to be kidding, right? You're not talking about Tiff as in Tiffany Graham, right? You didn't say anything nasty to her and her family, right?
Why are you getting all worked up now? Even if I did say some bad things to them, it was all the truth. It's not like anything I did was to hurt them. Having our son hanging out with their stupid little kid would ruin our son's education. We'd end up being the ones having to pay for it.
Stupid little kid? The only stupid idiot here is you. Jenny, you need to come with me to my office and apologize to them right now. And I mean right now.
What has gotten into you? Why do I have to go all the way there and apologize?
One of those engineers that I was talking about, that's Tiff's husband.
Are you kidding me? But her kid said in his speech at the parent-teacher conference the other day that his dad is always at home. So, in other words, his dad is without a job right now, right? There's no way in hell his dad would be able to be at home all the time if he was so busy with all that engineering work, right?
He's an engineer who works remotely from home.
What? Is that actually a thing?
He doesn't have to be in the office every day to get his job done, Jenny. Working from home is the new normal now. You should know that by now. So you just jump to conclusions in thinking that he was unemployed when he's one of our best workers and we need him on our team. What were you thinking making fun of his wife and son like that without actually knowing him? Oh, I can't believe what I'm hearing from you right now.
Hey, hold on a second. If I do have to apologize for this, what do you think they'll think of us? And everyone at your office will find out about this too, you know.
Well, you were the one who made fun of her husband and her son, so you figure it out. Oh my God.
Well, I didn't mean to hurt his feelings or anything. I was just telling Tiff the truth, or what I thought was the truth at the time.
In other words, you made the two of them feel like trash? If I were him, I wouldn't want to work with me after hearing that my wife acted like an idiot and took it upon herself to make his family feel bad. This project better not fail because of this. Oh my God. I even wonder if he'll take this up with HR and have a complaint written up about this. Oh my God, what if they fire me over this?
But I don't think they think I really meant it. So maybe I don't need to apologize to any of them, right? I can just pretend like it was a joke and I'm sure Tiff will understand.
You're going to apologize to them no matter what, Jenny. So before I get real mad here, hurry up and come with me to the office and apologize. I know that he's still there working, and I'm sure he's all happy not knowing about what you said yet. So hurry up, and we'd better get going before this is too late.
Are we really doing this?
Yes, hurry up.
Tiff, please help me. You're the only person I can come for help.
Wow, you have really been blowing up my phone, huh? And what the hell do you want with me this time?
My husband found out what I said about your husband, and apparently your husband isn't actually unemployed after all.
Did your husband finally tell you the truth then? And have you realized how much of a shallow person you've been all this time?
Well, apparently your husband works in the same company as my husband, and the two of them are working on a project together. And I had to meet him in person today to apologize to him.
Ah, now that you mention it, my husband did say something about that. And what's this have to do with me?
Well, it seems that your husband has taken really good care of my husband ever since the two of them started to work on this project. So I want to apologize for everything I said to you yesterday. I'm really, really sorry about that. I should never have said that.
Okay, so you've apologized. But you mentioned that you wanted my help for something earlier. What was that about then?
Actually, your husband was really mad at us. Well, mainly me. And he said he'd never forgive either of us and that he was done with us. He said that me making fun of his own son and wife was unacceptable.
Understandably. So what? You want me to tell my husband to forgive you? Is that why you're talking to me again?
That's right. I'm sure that I went a little overboard with some of the things I said to you, but we are really still good friends, right? Can we just call this water under the bridge and go back to being friends?
What the hell are you talking about? There is no friendship between us anymore, Jenny. You told me that you wanted nothing to do with me and my family anymore, right?
And I want us both to act like that never happened, okay? That's why I apologize to you for what I mistakenly said yesterday. Please forgive me so that our boys can get back to playing together, being friends. Are we okay again?
You want me to forgive you for them? There's no reason for me to care about him anymore. You said it yourself that your son is too good for my son. So I don't think there's any reason for me to forgive you now.
You don't have to keep nitpicking everything I said to you, okay? You're supposed to be one of the nicest people I know. Saying things like that might make me go back on what I thought of you.
Really? Well, I'm sorry about that, but I don't give a dime to hear what you think of me. I just have a lot of things I wanted to complain to you about.
What else do you need to complain about then? If you have anything else to say about me, then please, don't hold back and let it out. Let's hash things out right here and get it over with. I mean, we are good friends after all, so I can take it.
Then I'll go ahead and tell you straight. First of all, I don't appreciate you apologizing to me over text. Do you really feel sorry for what you did? If you did, you'd be calling me, or heck, apologize to me in person.
Well, I thought about that, but I didn't want to show up at your front door so randomly. That would be rude, right? But you know that apologizing through text takes a lot of courage too, right?
It feels to me like you still think you're better than me. You still think you're superior to me, don't you? To me, none of this feels like a real apology. It looks like you're only apologizing for your own benefit.
That's not what any of this is about, Tiff. Of course everything I did was on me and my fault. I understand all of that now. Hence, me apologizing to you right now, so please don't pretend that I'm not trying here, because I really am.
I don't think you're being sincere, and I don't think defending yourself helps you get the message across in any way. If you really don't have what it takes to actually apologize to me, then I'm done here. I know that your husband had nothing to do with this, but I don't want to ask my husband to forgive you both either.
Well, listen, Tiff. Aren't you aware that I'm a bit older than you? Meaning I deserve at least a little respect from you. But with you saying all sorts of rude things to me right now is disrespectful, right?
I'm sure you may think you're older than me, but that's only by age. Mentally, you are worse off than your own son. So I have no need to treat you with any respect.
Have you forgotten that it was me who invited you into my group of friends? Who invited you to be friends with the other moms around here? Are you really that dumb and ungrateful?
Oh, stop acting like you deserve any praise for that. To me, it seems like you wanted to be my friend for the benefit of making fun of me and my son.
Excuse me?
When we first started to talk, you already tried to get me to compliment your husband, right? You even acted all high and mighty about how perfect your family is without taking into consideration that I was listening. I only barely cared about that sort of thing, and you already wanted to tell me more and more about them being just the best family ever. Even some of the other moms say the same things about you. They say that being one-on-one with you turns into a contest where you always have to make yourself look better than everyone else. You always have to one-up yourself.
What? Who else has said that about me? Are you trying to make me feel like an idiot now as some sort of revenge tactic?
No, of course not. But me and the other moms don't try and use that as a way to make fun of you. But the fact that you think what I'm saying right now is to hurt your feelings, well, that's just too bad for you.
Hey, then can you at least forgive me for being an idiot? I'm sure you at least feel a little sorry for me, right? So then let's forget all about all of this and be friends again.
Except I don't feel the need to be your friend anymore, and I honestly never felt like I was. The fact that you'd even make fun of my husband and son? There is no way I want to be a friend with someone like that.
But I told you that if you forgive me, then our kids will be able to go back to being good friends at least. Or would you rather have your son live with one less friend than before? I can't believe his own mom would do that to him.
Oh, you don't have to worry about our kids. It seems like your son already came over here and apologized to my son. He said that he was sorry his mother had to say such rude things to us.
My own son? James said that?
Isn't that just the greatest? Seems like you raised him well, huh? Or maybe it was your husband who taught him well. So, I suppose you are at least good at raising kids. I bet if you went back and started following in his footsteps, you could learn a good thing or two. Because with the way things are now, you look more like a child than your own son.
No, please, I'm so sorry, Tiffany. I really am.
After this conversation with Jenny, I immediately blocked her number and on my social media accounts. Then I took screenshots of all the texts she sent to me and I sent them to her husband as proof of how much of a jerk she's been to me. I mean, what else was I going to do? Sit back, forgive and forget? No, I've got more balls than that. And anyway, her husband got so mad with her that he insisted on a separation. My husband was floored to find out that Jenny's husband left her, and with that, he decided to forgive him at least and continue to work on the project with him. I guess that was the most professional thing to do. My husband really hoped that this would teach her a lesson in not belittling other people, but of course she still hasn't changed one bit. Which is why her husband and her continue to live separately, and it's only a matter of time until he files for a divorce. Even though Jenny and my friendship ended, or didn't really even blossom for that matter, our boys are still good friends and love spending time together. I'm happy that my son gets to hang out with a boy his age, who's more mature than his own mother. I hope he stays a good influence on him. And I hope that this is a good lesson for my kid to learn how to treat others with respect and not to hurt other people intentionally or judge a book by its cover. I'll make sure to keep their friendships alive as long as possible and to make sure Jenny doesn't come back to pick on us anymore. It seems that Jenny and her husband are still living separately. He filed for a divorce from her because he just couldn't stand being married to someone as mean as her any longer. They had to split custody of James, but anytime he was over at his mom's house, he'd run over to our place and stay a few nights with my son. She didn't like that because she couldn't spend time with him anymore, but she also couldn't stop him from coming over because I was there. If my son and Henry end up being the best of friends, who knows? Maybe I'll have to hand Jenny the olive branch for their sake. But until that day comes, I'll be sure to stay the heck away from that mean idiot. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like the video and leave a comment. See you in the next one.
Sandy, I know this is really sudden, but we need to break up. I'm sorry to spring this on you out of nowhere, but there's another girl that I'm in love with, and I'm gonna marry her instead.
If that's supposed to be a joke, it isn't very funny.
I wouldn't joke with you about this. I'm being completely serious right now. I've actually been seeing her for a while. She told me the other day that she's pregnant. I can't exactly abandon her now. I have to do the responsible thing. I'm sorry. Please, just forget about me and move on with your life.
What? You got her pregnant? You can't be serious. When you said there's another girl I'm in love with, I thought it was just a one-sided thing, but you were actually cheating on me with her? I can't believe you do that to me.
I'm really sorry about all of this. I know it was wrong of me, but something about her was just irresistible. I couldn't help myself.
You've got to be kidding me. Have you forgotten that you and I are engaged? We introduced our parents to each other and planned out a venue for the wedding and everything. How could you do this? We were supposed to get married next month. I had already picked out a wedding dress. And now you're telling me that not only did you cheat on me, but you went and got another woman pregnant?
I understand that this is all a big shock for you. All I can say is that I'm really, truly sorry. I know I messed up. I'll pay for the dress and whatever last-minute cancellation fees there might be from the wedding venue. Of course, I'll see if we can return our engagement rings and get some of that money back as well. But my heart belongs to her now. That's the one thing I can't give back to you. There's simply no way that I can marry you at this point. Again, I am really so sorry about all of this.
Say, Brad, this girl you're telling me you've been involved with wouldn't happen to be that Millie girl from your office, would she?
Wait, what? How do you know about Millie? You two have never met, as far as I know.
Your phone's been going off nonstop with notifications lately. I noticed that you seem to always keep it close to you, even when you go to the bathroom to use the toilet or take a shower. Something definitely seemed fishy about that. But I didn't think you'd actually cheat on me.
I didn't realize I was being that obvious. Sorry.
Plus, I noticed something around last Valentine's Day. I went to get something out of the closet, and I noticed something sitting way in the back. It was a heart-shaped box of chocolates with the name Millie written on it. At first, I didn't want to assume the worst, so I thought maybe you were just holding on to it for a friend. As I can see now, though, that clearly was not the case.
Darn, I thought I had done a better job of hiding that. That was right when we had first started seeing each other. It's hard to believe that more than 6 months have gone by since then.
You've been cheating on me for 6 months, even though we're engaged. And with a coworker at that. I want to speak to her directly. And your boss, too, for that matter. If I recall, your company has rules against dating fellow employees.
What? Why? I don't think there's anything that you and her would have to talk about. And there's no need for you to drag my boss into this either.
I don't think he'd appreciate that you two have been flirting with each other on company time. I'd expect you'd at least get reassigned to different departments at the very least. It would be easiest to resolve this if I could just talk to him and Millie at the same time.
What do you mean, resolve this?
Well, I'll just explain to your boss how you cheated on me with one of his other employees, in addition to her shirking her duties and disobeying company policy. I'm sure the fact that it was done while you and I were engaged will leave him appalled. It's only natural that she'd have to face some kind of punishment for this.
Hey, hold on a minute. She doesn't deserve to be punished. She's my girlfriend now. And besides, her own father is the CEO. He'd take her side over yours any day.
What? She's the CEO's daughter?
Oh, did I forget to mention that? Millie's dad is the one who runs the whole company, which also makes her the heir once he retires.
No, you didn't mention that. I had no idea.
So, like I said, there is no way she'll get any kind of punishment, or be transferred to a different department, or anything like that. If anyone tried it, they would have to answer to her dad. Even if you tried to contact my boss or someone higher up at the corporate ladder, there's really nothing they could do to help you.
Well, if she's as pampered and sheltered as I'd expect most daughters of large company CEOs are, I suppose I can't argue with you there. She could probably get away with a lot worse than leading a man away from his fiancée.
Hey, don't make her sound like some evil seductress or something. She really does care about me. That's another reason why I can't just throw her to the curb. She'd be terribly hurt in more ways than one. Couple that with her pregnancy, and I really have no choice but to marry her. Not to mention, if I marry her, then I could have a genuine shot at becoming one of the company's bigwigs one day. I might even end up sitting at the same desk as her dad does right now.
Is that really worth completely throwing away the 7 years you and I have spent together, though? Both of our parents were really looking forward to our wedding, too. You'd be really letting them down. Do you seriously think that they'd accept I got the CEO's daughter pregnant as a legitimate excuse? I know I don't.
To be honest, I'm not that concerned with what you or your family think about it. If I abandon her to marry you now, I know I'll never have a shot at moving up in the corporate ladder. I'll be making the same salary I do now for the rest of my life. But if I marry Millie, I know there's a lavishly extravagant CEO lifestyle in my future just waiting for me.
Okay, I'm done. I don't want to hear anything else from you ever again. Don't even think about changing your mind. I don't even want to see your face again. I'll file all the cancellations for the wedding and let everyone we invited know that it's been called off. We won't need to discuss anything else. Just make sure that you send me the money to pay for the cancellation fees and such.
I'm glad you're starting to see things my way. I'll be sure to get the money wired to your account as soon as I can. I'll send you all your things from my apartment once you find a new place to live in too.
Sandy, what's going on? I just heard from Brad that you two decided to split up. What happened? You seemed happy together last time I saw you. I was really shocked when he told me. I beg your pardon? Brad just texted me a few minutes ago. I asked him about what he thought I should wear to your wedding, and he started going on about how he was going to marry some other girl I'd never even heard of before. And how he's apparently gotten her pregnant already. So they're already planning to get married sometime before the end of the year. I had assumed your wedding was still on, so it really took me off guard. Oh, I see. He must have decided to tell you and his dad about it himself. I'm sorry to be a nag about this, but you both should have taken better care to keep all parties informed. I'd been really looking forward to this wedding. I understand that whatever problems your relationship may have had aren't anybody else's business. I also understand that it's not always easy to tell other people that your relationship didn't work out. Still, I would have appreciated it if you both told us and your own parents clearly about what was going on ahead of time. Did Brad not tell you anything else? Anything else? Like what exactly? All he told me was that now he was going to marry some girl named Millie. You said earlier that you'd assumed our wedding was still on until today. To be honest, I'm in the same boat as you, and I wouldn't say we decided to split up so much as he decided to dump me. What? Are you serious? That Millie girl is one of Brad's coworkers. He'd apparently been seeing her for the last 6 months or so, even though he and I were engaged for that entire time. You're telling me that Brad was cheating on you? Yes, he was. Believe me, I was just as shocked as you were when he told me a couple hours ago. It sounds like this Millie is actually the daughter of his company CEO. He's got it in his head that if he marries her, he'll be able to inherit the entire company one day. I guess he puts more importance on this random flight of fancy than on the entirety of our 7 years as a couple. I just can't believe it! To think that my own son cheated on his fiancée, and that he kept you in the dark about it for more than half a year, even though you were engaged? I'm guessing you had no idea any of this was going on either then. I can't say I'm surprised that you were so shocked. Like I said, I was feeling the same way just a few short hours ago. I hope you can understand that I'm in just as much of a whirlwind of confusion as you are right now. I am so sorry to hear that, Sandy. I'm sorry my son is such a fool. And I'm sorry I was laying the blame on you earlier. I apologize for my behavior. You obviously couldn't have done anything about this. No worries, as long as we're on the same page now. Thank you for everything you've done for me up until now. You were such a big help when it came to planning the wedding. It's just a shame it was all for nothing. You and your husband were always so sweet to me. I'm actually having some complicated feelings about this whole thing. I assure you, the feeling is mutual. I'd never had the privilege of having a daughter before, but every interaction I had with you was just as I'd imagined it would be if I did have one. I'd really started to see you as one of my own children, Sandy. And now all that's ruined thanks to my utter fool of a son. I am so sorry. Please, Debbie, there's no need for you to apologize. You haven't done anything wrong. I'm not sure if this is the right thing for me to say right now, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm sure that you'll find someone better someday, Sandy. Someone who will treat you right. So don't give up, okay? I'll be rooting for your happiness with your future husband, whoever that might be. Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. That really means a lot to me. When you do meet someone new, please let me know. I know I'm just an old lady who should mind her own business, but I'd like to congratulate you when the time comes. I and my husband both think of you as our own daughter. We want nothing but the best for you. I'm quite wrapped up in my work for the time being, so I don't think I'll be meeting anyone anytime soon. Still, if and when that day comes, I'll be sure to get in touch with you. It's a promise, then. We'll be waiting to hear from you.
Hey. What's a commoner like you doing in a restaurant like this? I just spotted you out of the corner of my eye as you slipped into that private room.
Is this Brad?
I never would have expected to find the chick I dumped 3 years ago hanging around in such a fine dining establishment. What a crazy coincidence.
You can't be serious. You're in this restaurant right now?
Indeed, I am. I'm enjoying the ultra deluxe course in my own private room. I only ever go to the highest class restaurants I can find when I go out to eat these days. I won't settle for anything less than the absolute best quality food. Which makes it all the more surprising that an ordinary woman like you is hanging around here. I'd be surprised if you can afford anything more than a simple salad off this place's menu.
I don't see how where I choose to eat is any of your business. We haven't even spoken in 3 years. I assure you, I am able to pay the bills here just fine, thank you very much.
You can't talk about this place like it's just any old restaurant. This is a 3-star restaurant regarded as one of the best in the country, only known to true gourmets such as myself. It's not the kind of place just anyone off the street can waltz into and get a table, let alone a private room.
Where do you get off talking to me like that? I doubt a high-class establishment like this would want to waste their time with scummy jerks who cheat on their fiancés either. Now that I think about it, I noticed the faint scent of raw sewage wafting into my room a minute ago. Now that I know you're here, I know exactly where it was coming from.
Well, I'm sorry to say that I'm not the down-and-out loser that you seem to think I am. On the contrary, I'm currently the next in line to take over my company. I've been living on Easy Street ever since I married the CEO's daughter. I'm actually here with him today for us to discuss my succeeding of his position. He wanted to introduce me to one of our most valued business partners.
I don't believe it. You're actually going to be the next CEO?
Of course I am. You'd better believe it. After you and I split, I married Millie. We had an adorable little boy, and things have been smooth sailing ever since. It wasn't long after that the CEO started planning his retirement and settled on me to become his successor.
And I take it you haven't used any of that time to reflect on how poorly you treated me?
Oh, right, sorry about that. Things may have been smooth sailing for me, but I imagine they didn't quite work out that way for you, huh? I should have been more considerate. I apologize.
I beg your pardon?
I'm sure you're still living single, huh? You got that job a few years after we met, and that kept you pretty busy, as I recall. I can't see you having the chance to meet anyone and remarry. Not that anyone would want to marry a woman who got dumped by her own fiancé anyway. I guess that's my own fault, though. Sorry.
I don't buy that apology for a second.
Hey now, I'm just trying to look out for you here. I've actually been keeping tabs on you to see if you've gotten remarried or even had a boyfriend.
Excuse me?
But I can see you're just living the same commoner lifestyle you were when I left you, turning into an old hag as the years drag on without finding anyone new to marry. Oh, maybe you've become a cat lady. Like one of those single old ladies that own a dozen cats to keep them company because no man wants anything to do with them. At any rate, there's no way you could be making anywhere near enough money to afford to eat in a place like this. Oh, I really pity you. Doing what you can just to scrape by. You shouldn't be trying to show off by hanging around restaurants you can't even afford the food in.
I have been trying to be patient with you, but you've been making a lot of assumptions for a while now. You've clearly been trying to show off to me as well. I don't know what you think gives you the right to gloat like that.
I've just been giving you the truth, baby. I'm going to be running one of the top companies in the country. I've got wealth, status, and everything else I could ever want. I'm on a totally different level from you. So what right do you have to eat at the same restaurant I do? A poor girl like you would be better off eating at a fast food joint. You have no place in a high-end class restaurant like this.
My husband owns this restaurant.
What? Really?
Yes, really. So if you have a problem with my being here, then you're the one who should find somewhere else to eat. This restaurant is managed by the husband of a loser woman like me, after all. He owns the entire building. So if you think about it, you're the one who's out of place here.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean, your husband? Are you serious, Sandy? You're not just pulling my leg, right? When did you get remarried?
We had our wedding back in January. I guess the tabs you've been keeping aren't all that up to date.
But that doesn't make any sense. I just asked some of our mutual friends how you were doing not that long ago. But not one of them said a word about you getting married to anybody. I've never even heard anything about you having a boyfriend in the first place.
Of course you didn't. As your mother, I determined that it wasn't any of your business, so I made sure that you wouldn't find out.
What? As my mother?
I asked you and Sandy's mutual friends to keep it a secret from you. I knew nothing good could come from you sticking your nose into her affairs. After treating her so poorly, you don't have the right to know anything about her personal life anymore. And yet you are still obstinately trying to pry into her business, trying to figure out her relationship status. Oh, not only are you stupid, but you're even lacking in common decency. I can't even bear to call you my son.
Wait, what is going on? Is that you, Mom? What happened to Sandy? Why do you have her phone?
Don't talk back to me like that, mister. I don't remember raising you to be so rude.
What the heck is going on? Why are you talking to me through Sandy's phone, Mom? Oh, I am so confused right now.
I am with her right now to celebrate her new marriage. Your father and I made plans to meet her for dinner today.
What? To celebrate her marriage? Why would you guys have anything to do with her anymore? It's been years since she and I split up. What reason would you have to keep in touch with her?
It's really not that strange when you think about it. We're just here to celebrate with a friend. That's all. Your father and I always seen Sandy as one of our own children for the whole time you two were together. Even though we haven't been able to see her as often after you foolishly dumped her, we've always stayed in touch. We try to exchange messages at least once a month.
What? You're kidding, right?
Not at all. We asked her to let us know if she ever found someone new to marry. We wanted to make sure that we could give her the grand celebration that she surely deserved. I was so ecstatic when I finally heard the news from her. After everything she had been through, she finally found someone that truly cared about her. Even your father could barely contain himself when I told him. If I had to be perfectly honest, we were easily 1,000,000 times more excited than we were when you told us you'd be marrying that tramp from your office.
Hey, that's my wife you're talking about.
What did I say about back talk? Anyway, we were so surprised when she told us that her new husband was the owner of a 3-star restaurant. We decided that it would be a wonderful idea and easier for him if we had our celebratory meal right here. Of course, we brought Sandy a gift in addition to covering the cost of the food.
You seriously went that far for someone you're not even related to? When Millie and I got married, you just sent us a card. You didn't even bother to sign the thing. Why does Sandy deserve special treatment? I'm your actual son, in case you forgot.
Oh boy, here we go.
And you've never even once had dinner with us, not once. Millie's tried reaching out to you a bunch of times, but you always have some reason you can't make it. And yet you come out to a fine dining restaurant like this with Sandy like it's no big deal. You never send us anything for Christmas and didn't even acknowledge the birth of my own son. And now you're saying that not only are you paying for Sandy's meal here, but you bought her a gift on top of that?
I refuse to acknowledge a homewrecker like her as my daughter-in-law. As far as I'm concerned, she's a succubus who lured you away from Sandy. You should be happy we even sent a card at all. I didn't want to send you two anything, but your father insisted that we at least do you a basic courtesy. Of course, Sandy is a completely different story. Though we may not be related by blood, we truly do think of her as our own daughter. It's obvious why we'd give her much better treatment than you.
What the heck?
Now that we've cleared that up, I'd appreciate it if you let us get back to our meal. You're dining with company as well, if I am not mistaken. Please, leave us be and focus on the people you're sitting with instead.
Sandy, I need you to come to my office right now. You need to explain things to me.
What? What is this all of a sudden?
My meeting with our business partner yesterday turned into a huge catastrophe. My boss has been totally flying off the handle ever since. He called me into his office early this morning, and he's been screaming in my face for hours now. Please, I need you to come in here and make him understand.
What on earth are you even talking about? How does your meeting going poorly have to do with me? What exactly am I supposed to explain to your boss? I've never even met him before.
It's your fault that it went so poorly.
What? How?
They noticed that I was texting you on my phone under the table. Even after I turned off my phone, I was so distracted that I wasn't able to focus on the conversation my boss and our business partners were having with me. I couldn't take my mind off the bombshells that you and my mom dropped in our conversation. I made such a bad impression that our partner contacted my boss afterwards and told him that he wanted to sever his contract with us.
How is it my fault that you spent all that time messing around with your phone?
Isn't it obvious? You and Mom kept messaging me, so I kept having to reply. If it weren't for you and her, the meeting would have just gone fine.
You were the one that started messaging me in the first place. That was bad table manners no matter how you look at it. I don't have to take any responsibility for your bad behavior.
They're saying that their contract will only last until the current CEO steps down. He's telling me that he's going to transfer me to a different office altogether. They're going to send me to some branch company out in the sticks. He is taking away my chance to succeed him as the next CEO. He is dead serious about it too. Oh, please, Sandy, you've got to help me out here. My whole future is going down the drain. Tell him about how you hid from me that you had gotten married and suddenly shocked me with it in the middle of our dinner.
I still don't really get why you think I need to help you. We aren't married or even engaged anymore, so why should I owe you anything? You've been extremely rude to me in all of our communications since yesterday. That's no way to ask a favor of anyone. I doubt anything I could say would make your boss change his mind anyway.
You can't be serious. You need to help me fix this.
On the contrary, I have my own claim I'd like to file with your company. Yesterday, one of your employees was acting extremely rudely to me, telling me to get out of the restaurant that my own husband owns. Would it be all right if I sent this along directly to your boss?
Hey, don't even joke about that right now. I'm serious. Oh, please, don't send him that. I'm in some serious trouble as it is. If he heard that from you, it'd be like burying me with your own hands.
Well then, I hope that you'll be able to manage your current situation on your own. I ask that you don't contact me again. I don't want to see your pathetic, cheating face ever again, much less ever have the displeasure of speaking to you. I don't want garbage like you infesting my life anymore, ever.
Oh, Sandy, please.
Oh, one last thing. You are officially banned from entering our restaurant for any reason. You'll have to get your fine dining fills somewhere else. That's all I have to say to you. Good luck on getting that CEO position, Brad. Brad never tried to contact me again after that. I heard from Debbie that he lost his candidacy to succeed the CEO, and he moved with his family to the countryside after being transferred to a branch office. It also sounds like the person they got to take over the company instead has been incredibly successful and well-liked by the other employees. They all seem to agree that their new boss was the right man for the job and is a better fit than Brad could have ever hoped to be. As for Brad, it sounds like he's been having trouble adjusting to his new countryside lifestyle. He apparently sent Debbie a message recently that read, "Mom, could you please come out here once in a while to give us a hand?" But she told him she had to figure out his own life. He's a grown man after all. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave us a like. Don't forget to comment if you'd like to share any thoughts on this story. Your responses are extremely valuable to us, and of course, remember to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. We'll see you in the next video. Take care now.
Really? What are you doing at my wedding, you disgusting four-eyed nerd? You're gonna ruin my special day by being here. How did you get in anyway? Did you sneak in through the back or something? Excuse me? Don't think you can fool me. I recognize those nerdy black-rimmed glasses. Those things make you look like a loser, you know. We went to high school together, didn't we? You were that shy loser in class who didn't talk to anyone. I know I invited some of my old classmates to the ceremony today, but I definitely didn't invite you. How did you get in? Wait a minute, Laura. Let me explain before you get carried away. Who gave you permission to speak my name, huh? Don't you remember what happened in high school, you little ratbag? I told you to call me Milady, didn't I? It's all coming back to me now. I used to chase you around the school and beat you up if you didn't call me that. Good times, huh? But just because we've both graduated now doesn't mean anything has changed. I'm still at the top echelons of society, and you're still a little gutter rat. So, you should address me properly. Huh? Why? I don't get it. Can we please just act like adults here, Lara? All that stuff is in the past now. No, it's not. Call me Milady. Do it. Or you know you're gonna get what's coming to you. I'm sorry, Milady. I didn't mean to upset you. Now that's more like it. Now explain to me how you snuck into the church today and why you're here. Well, actually, I happen to be the older sister of Milady's fiancé. That's why I'm here. I was invited by my brother. Seriously? No way. You're Kyle's sister. I don't believe it. It's true. You can ask Kyle. This is crazy. Does this mean we're going to be sisters from now on? Just great. Yeah, we'll be family once the ceremony is over. But you're calling me names and making fun of my glasses like you always used to in high school. I guess some things never change, huh? Now wait just a minute. There's no way you could be Kyle's older sister. It's not possible. I've already met Kyle's older sister. He introduced us a while back. We've met all of each other's family members already, of course. I've only met his sister once, but I remember she was at least somewhat good-looking. Leagues prettier than you. That was me! Don't lie! I'm not lying. When we met, I was wearing contacts and a little bit of makeup. That's probably why you didn't recognize me. You really expect me to believe I didn't realize it was you? You're kidding, right? That couldn't have been you. Well, it was me. I don't know what else to tell you. I recognized you immediately as soon as my brother introduced you. But then you said, "It's nice to finally meet you," and I thought you must have forgotten me. Or at least, maybe you wanted to forget about what happened in the past and put all of it behind us. So I just pretended that we were meeting each other for the first time. Maybe I misinterpreted things. No way. There's just no way. I refuse to believe the girl I met then is actually you. Well, I don't know what else to tell you other than please believe me. You can get Kyle to confirm it for you if you see him. Yeah, a likely story. You're just making up lies on the spot so that you can sneak into my wedding ceremony. Obviously. I'm not that dense, you know. You're going to need a more convincing story than this garbage. Please don't be like this, Lara. I mean, Milady. Listen up, trash. You need to get out of here ASAP. I didn't invite you here and you're not welcome. You can't be serious. But what about my brother? I can't just leave. Enough with that story already. Jeez, what a pain in the butt dealing with you of all people on my wedding day. I shouldn't have to put up with this. Why did you even come here? I have no idea what you were thinking, but the game's up. Hurry up and get out of the church before the ceremony starts. Your face is the last thing I want to see when I'm walking up the aisle. You won't be walking up the aisle today, Lara. I'm going home with my sister. Wait, what? And here I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding day with my sister. Can you explain your behavior here? Why are you talking to her like this? Huh? What's going on right now? Is that you, Kyle? Why are you using Peggy's phone? So, you finally figured it out, huh? I noticed my sister seemed to be in a negative mood, so I asked her what was wrong, and she showed me these messages. What the hell are you saying to my sister, Lara? How can you be so rude? Explain yourself. Wait, hold on a minute. I'm so confused right now. What's going on? I don't get this at all. Is she actually your older sister? The woman you introduced me to before was actually Peggy from high school all along. How is that possible? I'm the one asking what's going on here. I don't understand why you're so confused. You met her before. I know, but she was wearing contacts, so we didn't recognize her. She looked completely different from how she did in high school. How was I supposed to know who she was? I had no clue your sister was actually Peggy from high school. That's insane.
Come to think of it, she's been acting pretty weird ever since I introduced you guys. Whenever I brought up the topic of our marriage around her, it seemed like she wanted to avoid the subject. She seemed so awkward about the whole thing for some reason. But I guess now I know why that is. She must have had mixed feelings about her little brother marrying the girl that used to make her life hell back in high school. I can't say I blame her.
I didn't make her life hell. Don't exaggerate. I just teased her a little. That's all. It was all in good fun, though. It might have looked like I was being mean to her if you didn't know the context, but that's just how we were back then.
I don't want to hear your excuses, Lara. The wedding is off.
What? You can't be serious.
Of course I'm serious. You really think I'd joke about something like this? I can't possibly marry someone who hurts my family members. I didn't think you were this sort of person, Lara. I'm disappointed in you.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. Look, I know you might be mad, but it's all in the past now. Don't call off the wedding over something trivial like this.
Trivial. Is that what you think? Back when she was in high school, my sister used to come home and cry herself to sleep just about every day, you know. We were all really worried about her. We knew there must be some trouble at school or something. But to think you were the source of her stress all along.
Wait, please, let's not get carried away here, Kyle. All of this happened a long, long time ago. I'm totally not that person anymore. I'll apologize to your sister about what happened in high school. So please don't call the wedding off, okay? If the wedding is canceled, then what are we going to tell all the guests? Come on. All our families and friends are here.
It's too late to persuade me. I've made up my mind not to marry you. I just can't imagine swearing to love you eternally knowing what you did to my sister.
Please, don't do this. We can talk about it. Let's figure something out.
I told you, it's too late to persuade me. Anyway, I'll tell everyone the wedding is canceled. Let's discuss more about what we're going to do tomorrow.
How could you do this to me, Peggy? My wedding ceremony got called off, and it's all your fault. I just talked to Kyle, and he said he's calling off the marriage altogether. He said he can't marry me because of what I did to you in high school.
I see. So you guys already finished talking. I can't lie. I thought this might happen when he found out about everything. I can't blame him.
Why didn't you just tell me you were Kyle's sister, idiot? If you'd said something sooner, then none of this would have happened.
Huh? You're blaming this all on me now? But I did tell you I was Kyle's sister. You're the one who refused to believe me even when I tried to explain.
You can't talk to me like that. You're still an ugly, four-eyed cow, and I'm still above you. Don't get carried away thinking we're on the same level just because Kyle is your brother.
You're still calling me names and making fun of me, even after everything that happened yesterday.
Shut up, loser. That's all you are, and that's all you'll ever be. So that's how I'm going to continue to treat you. Got it? My wedding got canceled because of you. You really think I'm going to start being nice to you now?
Well, I had hoped that maybe you'd learned your lesson.
Listen up, nerd. I will never, ever, ever forgive you for this. I'm going to hate you to the end of your days. I'll put a curse on you or something. You hear? I promise you, you'll live to see the day when you regret ruining my life.
You can't be serious.
Oh, I'm dead serious. I'll definitely get revenge on you for this someday. If you ever try to live a happy life, I'll be sure to get in the way. Never forget that, Peggy. I'll be watching and waiting. Congratulations on your wedding. Despite being a pathetic four-eyed geek, I guess you finally found someone willing to marry you. Who'd have thought it? Imagine my surprise when I opened my invitation and saw your name on it.
Lara, you're at the wedding today?
I sure am. I can't believe you're actually engaged to Dale, of all people. I've always admired him. What a weird coincidence. I can hardly believe it.
Wait a minute. Why are you here today? Did Dale invite you?
He sure did. We actually work together at the same company. I guess you didn't know that. I work directly under him, in the same department.
Seriously? I had no idea you two were co-workers.
He's always taking good care of me, your fiancé. I kind of have a bit of a crush on him, actually.
You do?
Of course! I was pretty depressed when he announced at work that he was going to be married. But I figured if it's someone my reliable and smart superior chose, then she must be an amazing and beautiful woman. I gracefully accepted defeat and gave up on pursuing him. But then that woman turns out to be you, of all people. Who'd have thought? I guess I needn't have given up on him after all.
Wait a minute, Lara. You're not thinking of trying to cheat with my husband or something like that, are you?
Oh, don't worry. I would never do something that crude.
Well, that's a relief.
But if Dale happens to fall in love with me of his own accord, then it's not my fault, is it?
Huh? What does that mean?
I mean, for example, what if Dale were to see what you're really like? And then when he realizes what a loser you are, he'll stop loving you and fall in love with me instead. I'm clearly the better option for him. Don't you agree? I mean, think about it. I'm at least 100 times more charming and attractive than you. He's sure to switch to me in no time.
That's not going to happen, Lara. And anyway, what do you even mean by what I'm really like?
Oh, come on. Don't tell me you don't know what I mean. You're the one who got my wedding ceremony canceled, stupid. I'll tell Dale all about what you did. Your fiancée is the woman who ruined my life. That's what I'll say. She was jealous of me because she was so ugly, so she had my wedding ceremony canceled. What do you think he'll say?
You're joking, right?
I'm dead serious. When he hears that, he's never going to want to touch you again. There's no doubt about it. He'll throw you away into the garbage and get together with me instead.
Wait a minute, Lara. You're not actually going to tell him that, are you?
Don't even try and stop me. It's useless. This is the punishment you get for ruining what should have been my wedding day. Now I'm going to ruin your wedding day in return. Get a taste of your own medicine.
You can't do this. Your life will be over if you make a move on Dale.
What do you mean?
I won't say anything bad, so just grow up and act like an adult, Lara.
Huh?
I can't believe you're actually thinking about interfering in your superior's marriage. Don't do it, that's my advice. You'll lose your position in the company for sure.
What are you even talking about, Four Eyes? I'm doing a favor for Dale by letting him know that his new bride is a terrible person. He'll thank me for telling him. Trust me. There's no way I'd get in trouble at work for something like this.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. And anyway, I plan to quit my job once I marry your husband. I mean, I don't even like working for that stupid company. I just want to settle down and be a housewife. Who cares what happens at work?
I see. So that's how you feel, huh? I don't think it's going to work out like that, though. You should really be careful.
I see. You're just worried about what will happen when Dale finds out the truth about you, so you're trying to stop me. But you're too late. I'm about to tell him everything right now.
I'm telling you, Lara, it's useless. Dale already knows everything. Don't do this. You're only going to make your own situation worse. Don't cause trouble at your superior's wedding ceremony.
Huh? Wait a minute. What do you mean he already knows everything?
I mean, he already knows that you and my brother's wedding ceremony was called off. And he knows about my involvement in the whole thing, too. And before you even ask, I also told him all about what happened between us in high school.
What? Are you serious?
Well, we are going to get married today, and we've been engaged for a while. We have nothing to hide from each other.
But how can that be? It doesn't make any sense. Dale knows you're the kind of woman to ruin someone else's wedding ceremony. How can he be fine with marrying someone like that? I don't believe you.
Please, listen to what I'm saying for once. If anything, he praised me for stopping you and Kyle from getting married. He said that if Kyle had married a crazy woman like you, there would have been drama sooner or later.
He what? He didn't say that about me. Don't be ridiculous.
It's true. He said it's a good thing the wedding got called off before we became relatives.
Huh? You're joking. I don't believe it. Why would a kind, reliable man like Dale be on your side here? You're a disgusting, petty loser who ruins people's lives. There's no way he would want to marry someone like that.
Laura, I don't know what to say.
Oh, I get it. So you told him what happened, but you spun it to make yourself look like the good guy.
Of course not.
That's the only way it makes sense. You must have left some of the details of what happened out. I bet a four-eyed dweeb like you was good at lying, huh? That's how you got with Dale in the first place. You manipulated him into feeling sorry for you just like you do with everyone. Well, I'm going to talk to him and tell the truth about what really happened.
I didn't do that, Laura. I swear. You're making a big mistake here. I only told Dale the facts about what happened.
Oh, I have an idea. I'll tell him about what you were like in high school, too. He's finally going to learn about how much of a pathetic loser you actually are. Once he finds out, he's sure to fall out of love with you. And the wedding ceremony will be canceled.
Calm down, Laura. Just think about this logically. I understand that you still resent me for what happened 3 years ago, but this is going too far, don't you think? Don't try and ruin someone's wedding day.
Shut up! Have a taste of your own medicine, Four Eyes. Don't try to order me around like you're better than me.
Laura, please.
My wedding got called off because of you. It's only fair that I return the favor. Don't you agree? I told you that you would live to regret what you did to me. I know. I'll show Dale a picture of what you looked like in high school, with your stupid black-rimmed glasses. He'll never be able to look at you the same after he sees it. He'll definitely call the wedding off. I can't wait to see the face he makes when he sees your old pictures.
He's already seen all my old pictures, and he knows about what I was like in high school. I mean, for crying out loud, we went to the same school, remember?
What? He did?
He was a teacher in training at the time. He said you were really cruel to him every day. You made a lot of noise in all his classes, and he couldn't teach properly. He said in the end he got so stressed out dealing with you that he decided to give up on being a teacher. That's when he changed the job he has now.
Are you serious? That shy, dull homeroom teacher from high school was actually Dale? How could I not have noticed that?
That's why he already knows what I was like back then. And he knows what you were like too. You don't need to explain anything to him.
No, you're lying. This is impossible. I mean, he looks completely different from how he did back then.
Well, not really. He just stopped wearing glasses and switched to contact lenses when he changed jobs. It kind of seems like you judge people based on whether or not they have glasses, Laura.
Wait a minute. There's just one thing I want to confirm. Does Dale know that Laura from work is the same Laura he used to teach at school? I mean, I wasn't the best student back then, I admit.
Yeah, he knows. He's known ever since you first joined the company. He said he felt despair when he realized he'd be having to work with you.
Hey, what now?
He's really an amazing person, isn't he? He used the fact that you hadn't realized who he was to his advantage and was able to make it so that you two have been working together and getting along all these years. I don't think I would have been able to do that if I were in the same situation.
What am I going to do? I seriously can't believe Dale used to teach me in high school.
Do you think you'll be able to just sit down and enjoy the ceremony like everyone else? Maybe you should just go home early. That might be better for all three of us, actually. The exit is on the left side of the room. Mind your feet as you're leaving.
I can't believe this is happening to me. You two are the worst. You know that? I can't believe you guys would really go this far. Huh? What's going on now? I suddenly got an order from my company to transfer to another branch. And my new workplace is in the actual middle of nowhere, I tell you. This is de facto relegation. How can you two be so dirty sending me away like this? Is it ruining my wedding enough for you? Which one of you came up with the idea? Huh?
Calm down, Lara. No one is plotting against you. And even if we were, it's not like either of us have the power to send you somewhere away.
Well, if it wasn't you guys, then why is the timing so convenient? Huh? Even you have to admit it's suspicious.
It's just a coincidence. You're being paranoid. And I heard about your relocation from my husband, but he said it was due to your bad attitude at work. That's all.
Huh? So you're blaming me?
From what I heard, you're still tormenting people like you did in high school. Telling them that their makeup looks bad or that their clothes are ugly. He said all the workers are afraid of you. Your boss got a ton of complaints from everyone in the department, so we decided to send you far away.
Hold on. I never tormented anyone. I just told the truth. That's all. What's wrong with telling ugly people they're ugly? They've seen mirrors before, right? I guess I also got the new recruits to do some work for me too, but that was only sometimes.
That's called harassment, you know. Don't you know that?
Huh? I can't believe an introvert loser like you is really trying to lecture me about society. What would you know? And even if I did harass some people at the company, that doesn't give you and Dale the right to harass me. I'm different from you guys. I'm at the upper echelon of society.
What does that even mean? We went to the same high school, and you work at the same company as my husband. Where are you getting the superiority complex from?
You're just jealous because you're an ugly loser with no future. Don't you try and lecture your superiors about life. Or maybe you think you're better than me just because you got married first.
I give up. It seems like no matter what I say to you, it's not going to get through. It's like talking to a wall. Maybe it's better if you just disappear off to some rural town where none of us will ever have to see you again. That's all I can say.
How dare you say that to me?
Once you're relocated and everything settles down, you should take a long, hard look in the mirror and decide if this is the type of person you want to be. Otherwise, you'll never be able to get married and you'll keep losing friends. Anyway, best of luck with the relocation. Dale and I will pray that you can become a better person. After that, Lara was relocated to a rural branch of her company far away, and peace came to Dale's department. From what I've heard from Dale, the people at Lara's new department tend to work independently. It seems like there is no atmosphere of teamwork or cooperation to be found there. But without being discouraged by such an atmosphere, Lara continued her work as a self-proclaimed positive thinker. But eventually, she was told by her co-workers, incompetent idiots who can't do their job properly are losers. Please refrain from making private conversation at work and just concentrate on your tasks. I guess that hit her pretty heavily, and she is now spending the days being looked down on for being incompetent and unable to do her job. Last I heard about her, her personality has completely changed. People say she has become very quiet and unassuming, and doesn't talk much. Thank you for watching! If you enjoyed the video and want to see more like it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.